Hong Kong. In the food section of a department store in the center of the city, people are tasting free samples of sweets.
Thank you.
The product they're buying is a white fish-shaped taiyaki cake made in Japan. It's produced by a company called Hokui Yonju-do no Machi in Iwate Prefecture. As a company with 36 employees specializing in flour-based food products, it began production of white taiyaki cakes 10 years ago.
Its most characteristic feature is its texture. The part that stretches like a rice cake is made from tapioca starch.
By mixing tapioca starch into the dough, a taiyaki cake that stretches well and stays white when baked can be produced. Its distinctive appearance and texture have made it popular. Just as Hokui Yonju-do no Machi was planning to expand its market out into the world, starting with Hong Kong, the Great East Japan earthquake struck.
It is regrettable that, as a result of a prolonged power outage, our stock of taiyaki cakes in the freezer was ruined.
Located in an inland area, the company escaped serious damage. However, the distribution system was disrupted, and it took 4 or 5 months to restore it. The export of food products from Japan to Hong Kong was also affected, according to the food company in Hong Kong that sells the white taiyaki cake. People in Hong Kong are concerned about radiation in Japanese food. That's why sales have dropped. 1 year after the disaster, people are working in earnest to rebuild exports of Japanese food.
Our effort will continue to promote our food so that people in Hong Kong can enjoy safe and delicious oishi product.
Concerning the recovery of the export of Japanese sweets, we report on the efforts of companies in Tohoku. Kitakata City in the Aizu region, the western part of Fukushima Prefecture. There is a local confectionery in this popular tourist site. Okuya, a confectionery specializing in mamegashi, nut and bean sweets, was established by its president, who is in his mid-30s.
We specialize in bean sweets containing 10 types of beans. These are sweetened azuki beans. We produce them in various types.
The company purchases its beans from local contracted farmers. It uses only beans produced in the Aizu region. The tasty beans are popular souvenirs among tourists visiting Aizu. 3 years ago, Okuya started exporting its products to Hong Kong and Taiwan. However,
last year, we barely exported any products. Frankly speaking, our exports have stopped since the earthquake.
the radiation level in Aizu is no different than that in Tokyo. Despite this, the number of tourists has dropped and exports have ceased just because the region is in Fukushima. In a shopping arcade in Tokyo stands Mr. Matsuzaki of Okuya. One must take action. Mr. Matsuzaki has opted to peddle his wares. Almost every week he goes to events held to support earthquake recovery. He sells his bean products everywhere, as well as products produced by his associates in Aizu. He values communication with his customers.
While it's important to make sales, it's equally important to communicate with customers and promote tourism by saying Aizu wasn't really affected by the disaster. Please come and visit us. Don't forget us.
Activities to support food exports have also been initiated. Using the JETRO program for supporting food exports, overseas buyers have come to Fukushima Prefecture. They visit radiation testing facilities and companies in the prefecture. The purpose of the program is to convey correctly the fact that radiation tests are strictly implemented to secure food safety to dispel harmful rumors. How do the overseas buyers feel after their visit?
It might be rude to call it normal, but my impression is that there isn't any problem.
In search of new markets, Mr. Matsuzaki participates in a business meeting held during the visit and promotes his bean sweets. At the reception, featuring food from Fukushima, he avidly gathers information. Words of encouragement are given by overseas buyers.
I hope to be of help in supporting the people of Japan to make further advancements.
Mr. Matsuzaki is encouraged by the kindness of overseas buyers.
I felt I might be able to try marketing overseas again. It'll be difficult, but I've had some encouraging responses, so I'd like to try again.
Hachinohe City in Aomori Prefecture. There's another person who says he was encouraged by the kindness of overseas people. He is Kazuhara Matsusaka, the chef and owner of a confectionery. He manages a confectionery chain called Arpachon, which has 5 shops in Hachinohe City. In this shop loved by local people, colorful sweets are lined up in a display case. Among their products, Asano Hakoda cheesecake, which is sold by mail order, is extremely popular. Arpachon uses only local food ingredients, such as eggs and milk, and carefully produces each handmade cake.
Asano Hakoda cheesecakes are not mass-produced. Our chefs make each one with all their heart to make our customers smile. That's how we make them.
The cheesecake is frozen after being baked and thawed just prior to eating. This keeps it moist and soft. As it is frozen, it is suitable for export. In Hong Kong, it has been served as a dessert at sushi restaurants for the past 4 years. In Taiwan, it's popular on home shopping networks. While it's achieved satisfactory sales results both in and out of Japan, Arpachon suffered massive damage from the Great East Japan earthquake.
It was terrible here. In the center of that pine forest, there was a car turned over on its side.
The city was hit by the tsunami. The scene that emerged after the waves receded was completely changed. The inside of Arpachon was also very badly damaged. In the month of March, when the earthquake struck, lost sales amounted to 54 million yen. Mr. Matsusaka, who was at a loss, was saved by a call from overseas.
After the earthquake on March 11th, we received a call on March 12th from one of our customers in Hong Kong. He said he would send money now, but would wait for the products to be sent later.
The call encouraged Mr. Matsusaka to refuse to be defeated by the disaster and keep producing cakes. Arpachon resumed baking its breads just 4 days after the disaster, and cakes just 20 days after the disaster. Mr. Matsusaka deepened ties with his staff. Although damaged by the Great East Japan earthquake, Mr. Matsusaka is walking toward recovery. He keeps his thinking positive. A business meeting was held in Aomori City. Mr. Matsusaka is keen to open up new markets, not only in Asia, but also in America and Europe. A business meeting with a Canadian company advances smoothly, and Mr. Matsusaka closes a deal.
While we're interested in various foods, we definitely want to import the cheesecakes right away.
They shake hands with a smile. It marks another step toward overseas marketing.
I won't be defeated by the earthquake. My staff won't be defeated by the earthquake either. From here, we hope to produce products that will be accepted more widely around the world.